I tucked my son into bed and he whispered, "Daddy, there's a monster under my bed." I looked underneath and saw him staring back at me, trembling. "Daddy, there's someone on my bed." My mom screamed as I walked into the kitchen. "But honey," she sobbed, "we buried you last year." The voice on the baby monitor whispered, "He's awake." But my baby was in my arms, and I was alone in the house. I went to tuck my wife in, but she was already sound asleep. Then she walked out of the bathroom and asked, "Who are you talking to?" Every night, I hear my mother humming in the kitchen. She died 10 years ago. The painting in my hallway changes slightly every time I look at it. Last night, it blinked. "Why are you crying?" I asked my brother as he clutched my arm in the dark. "Because that's not my hand you're holding," he whispered. "My dog keeps barking at the corner of my room. The same corner my grandmother used to sit in before she passed. My daughter won't stop screaming in her sleep." I don't have a daughter. I woke up to a text from my mom, "Come down for breakfast, honey." My mom has been in a coma for 3 years. The clown grinned at me from my closet. I don't own any clown dolls. I tucked my wife into bed and kissed her forehead. Then I went to the guest room, where my actual wife was waiting in terror. "There's someone in the attic," my brother whispered. "We don't have an attic." I set up a camera to find out why I wake up with scratches every morning. The footage shows me sleeping soundly, until something invisible pulls me out of bed. "I love you," my husband said as he kissed my forehead. He had died in a car crash that morning. I woke up with a jolt and heard a raspy voice whisper, "Don't turn around." The breathing on my neck wasn't mine. My reflection in the mirror smiled at me. I wasn't smiling. I was home alone when I heard a child's laughter in the next room. I don't have any children. My grandfather always told me about the whispers in the woods. I finally understand what he meant, now that they're calling my name. My phone lit up with a notification, "You left the front door open." I live on the 10th floor of a locked apartment building. My wife was shaking me awake. But my wife died last year. I heard my mother call my name from the kitchen. I walked downstairs and saw her asleep on the couch. The figure in my doorway whispered, "You're dreaming." I woke up to find him still standing there. My sister won't stop crying at night. She drowned 2 years ago. My daughter was giggling in her room. She was buried last week. The man on the radio said, "Stay inside, don't let them in." Someone knocked at my window, smiling. "I can't sleep," she whispered. I blinked awake. My wife had been dead for 5 years. I watched my husband leave for work, waving from the window. Then I turned around and saw him lying in bed, fast asleep. "Close your eyes," he whispered. I did, and everything went silent. Something tapped on my bedroom window. I'm on the 22nd floor. My father told me he loved me before tucking me in. He died overseas 6 months ago. "Mommy, can I sleep with you?" the voice asked. I turned over to find my daughter already in bed with me. I heard my wife call me from the basement. But I remember, my wife is away visiting her parents. The whispers grew louder every night. They told me they'd be coming soon. "Daddy, there's a ghost in my room," my son said, and I saw a shadow smile behind him. My dead grandmother called me last night. She wanted to know if I was lonely too. "Good night, sweetheart," my mom whispered. But I was home alone. My closet door creaked open. I had locked it before bed. I woke up in a coffin, scratching at the wood. No one was listening. The candle blew out. The whisper behind me said, "Finally, we can talk." The TV turned on by itself. A static-filled voice called my name. I was alone in my house. Until I heard footsteps coming up the stairs. I saw a shadow move across the wall. But there was no one there to cast it. "You're not supposed to be here," the voice said from the darkness. The lights wouldn't turn on. My husband kissed me goodnight. But I had buried him 3 nights ago. The picture frame fell off the wall. The face in the photograph was no longer mine. I heard a voice say, "I missed you." But my house has been empty for years. I found a note in my handwriting. "Don't trust him," it said. My sister asked why I was breathing so loud. I wasn't. Something is watching me sleep. I can feel it, but I can't see it. The door creaked open by itself. A voice whispered, "Let me in." "You left the window unlocked," the text message read. I don't remember sending it. I feel something breathing against my neck. "But I live alone." "Hide," the little girl whispered. But I wasn't the one she was talking to. I walked past a mirror. My reflection stayed behind. I whispered, "I wish I could see ghosts." The whispers started immediately. "Someone keeps knocking on my door at 3 a.m. No one is ever there." "You weren't supposed to survive," the doctor whispered. But I never told him about the accident. I woke up to the sound of humming. It was coming from inside my closet. I took a picture of my empty living room. There was a shadow standing in the center. My boyfriend texted me, "Come outside." He died last week. The baby monitor crackled to life. A voice whispered, "Put him down." I asked my Alexa if I was alone. It whispered, "No." I woke up to a hand caressing my face. My wife was asleep on the other side of the bed. Something is scratching the walls. It's getting closer. My mom sang me a lullaby as I drifted to sleep. She died giving birth to me. "You have such soft skin," my husband murmured. But he was out of town, and I was home alone. The radio crackled to life with a static-filled voice. "I see you," it whispered. I turned on my phone's front camera. There was someone standing behind me. "It's time to wake up," my nurse said, shaking me gently. But I've been awake this whole time. My wife texted me, "Come downstairs, I need help." She was asleep next to me. I deleted the picture of me sleeping. I live alone. I heard my closet door slide open. I don't have a closet. My dad tucked me in and said goodnight. But he died before I was born. My therapist asked, when did the hallucinations start? But I had never told her I was seeing things. The man in my dreams always whispers, "See you soon." Last night, he waved from across the street. I heard crying from the baby monitor. My baby was in my arms. "There's someone outside," my sister whispered. "But we live in a windowless basement." My reflection blinked twice. I only blinked once. I answered the phone. My own voice whispered, "Don't go to sleep." My cat keeps staring at the ceiling, hissing. There's nothing there, or at least, nothing I can see. My husband left for work an hour ago. He just called me from upstairs. My son said, "Daddy, there's someone under my bed." I checked and saw him staring back, whispering, "Don't let him fool you." The whispers stopped when I turned on the light. But I felt cold breath on my neck. "Why are you sleeping in my bed?" the little girl asked. But I moved into this house alone. I put my ear against the wall. The heartbeat on the other side matched mine. My dead grandmother called me on the phone. "Don't look out your window," she warned. I woke up and found scratches all over my arms. The security footage showed me doing it to myself, while something whispered in my ear. The doorbell rang at midnight. I peeked outside, but all I saw was my own reflection staring back at me. The static on the TV whispered my name. It grew louder when I muted it. My wife told me to check on our baby. "We don't have a baby." The thing under my bed keeps whispering, "I miss you. I just moved in yesterday. We should go," my wife whispered, staring at the empty doorway. "Before it comes back." I locked every door and window. The closet door creaked open anyway. I found an old voicemail from my grandmother. "I'll see you soon," she said. She died before I was born. My best friend called me sobbing. "I just saw your obituary in the paper." The candles flickered. A voice whispered, "Finally, you can see me." My little brother won't stop crying. He died before I was born. The thing in my attic won't stop pacing at night. I live in a one-story house. My mom used to sing to me when I was scared. I still hear her voice, even though I buried her a decade ago.